Hello, my friends. So, if today's date, May the 13th, is your birth date, this is a reading for you for this year. It's a three-card pull, a general energy card, a challenge you might face in the year card, and an action to take to keep yourself in balance card. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, so, your general energy card of the year is the self. And the self is the sense of the witness within you. You're a cauldron for the experiences of being human. We are each a part of a divine experiment, and we are each here to experience life in its fullest. And the self, or the soul, or this sacred vessel which we are in, is that non judgmental, allowing part of ourself, uh, our soul, to let experiences happen, to let life happen in its fullness without judging, without pushing, without demanding, allowing that there's bigger pictures and that we're a significant part of a significant whole, and that we are here to experience ourselves in our richness, from the smallest sense of our ego closing us in and feeling abandoned and feeling alone, to the biggest sense of our spiritual connection, allowing us to feel connected to source and dancing with others and creating a miraculous experience that's rich in light and shadow, and rich in play and work, and rich in pain, and rich in joy. And if we can remember that the self, or the soul, has a sense of bliss about it all, and can laugh about it all, and can rejoice in it all, and can just witness it all without judgment, and just be okay with it, even as our egos struggle, and our spiritual wants and our lower wants might ride us and rule us occasionally, or often. We get to still watch from this wonderful place of the self. So the self card, I think, asks you this year, are you creating the stew, or are you the stew? Are you allowing the stew to happen, or are you trying to push the stew into being? And how can you more clearly allow yourself to experience life in its fullest, and not be so bound up in maybe dogmas that are holding you, or criticisms that are holding you, or fears that are holding you, or guilt or shames, or anything that lodges in that emotional second chakra are holding you? Or maybe you're not listening to your will. Maybe you're not listening to your intuition. Maybe you're not listening to your body's fears. Maybe you're not even listening to your head, and you're just like, rolling along, which is the closest thing to the self, actually, that you could possibly be. So, this is a great exploration year around the self, the soul, the non judgmental witness point in the center of your being. So, your challenge this year is the Empress. And I think the challenge of this means allowing yourself to have that wild part of yourself, allowing yourself to have that emotional part of yourself, that raw part, that sensual, that sexual part of self, that fertile part of self, that connected to nature, and and self-embodiment, and lover of joy and mystery and play and connection, and the sense of giving yourself the comfort and the resources, and the touch, and the sense of gratitude that a mother would give, because the Empress is the mother. So your challenge is to be the mother for yourself, and to be the mother for others, but really, I think, to be the mother for yourself, and to listen to your own motherly instincts within, which means your intuition and your compassion and your love, and not to let your head rule all the time, and not to be stuck in some kind of dogma, or some kind of belief systems, or some kind of thought that only keeps you stuck in doing one thing purposefully, pushing, kicking out love and kicking out the sense of what does your soul really want, and kicking out your emotional connections and only following your mind. To follow your mind without your heart is an imbalance that the self wants you to find, wants to find you to find your balance, wants to let you find that balance between intuition and analysis, between knowing and feeling, between playing with the boundaries of what is acceptable, what is good for you versus what is bad for you. Moderation in all senses is a powerful place of the self, and the Empress is saying you need to moderate some of your mind and go toward your heart and your nature and your feelings this year. So don't let yourself forget that. And the action that you can take is the owl. Well, the owl is to listen to the messages that are coming to you in the night, and the owl is the messenger from the night. It's that silent, deadly killer to some that flies in and swoops up and gets its prey so easily. So it's one of those things that says your intuition is there. Beings are talking to you. You're getting the hits of light and love and joy and truth that you need. The owl sat on Diana's shoulder. The owl is a harbinger of wisdom to many cultures. The owl is that bringer of understanding that goes through the twilight, that bridges the light and the dark, the shadow and the light. So it's allowing yourself to hear the messages that are coming to you, and going to quiet places that nurture that, and allowing yourself silence, and allowing yourself discretion, and allowing yourself nature, and allowing yourself a connection to shadow energy. And shadow's not bad. Shadow is those parts of ourselves that are still talking to us, that want to be healed, that want to be witnessed by the self, that want to be recognized as something deep and important to the balance of our being. So you can allow the sense of the shadow in the sacred parts of yourself, the sacred shadow of yourself, to speak to you this year. And that's a very powerful statement to make, and I think it's one you can consider in order for you to find balance in yourself. So aho mitakuye, and blessed be in your beautiful search for self, and in your joyful giving of compassion and allowance and sensuality and nurturance back to yourself, in your learning to trust your intuitions once more, and your feelings and your connections to people and your connections to spirit, and learning to trust those things, and to listening to the sacred messages that are coming to you from the dark, from the shadow, the positive sense of the shadow, the sacred shadow that has things to tell you that will help you and will help all beings. And that's what these readings are about. Words that will help all beings in the truest sense, for the highest and holiest good. So blessed be, may this be a year of finding what is for the highest and the holiest good for you and for all beings. Blessed be.